Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everybody around the world. Welcome back to another One Piece video featuring your girl, Nami, coming at you guys with a very, very spicy game today. Weird saying that. In the form of Nami versus Lim, in which this is a pretty tough game, especially with Lim being able to go wide on board very, very quickly. It's kind of similar to Red Zoro in a way, except for a lot bigger bodies and a little bit harder to deal with when it comes to removing them. Lim, on the other hand, has the ability to restand characters on board and constantly pressure face. Now, as you guys may know, we don't have a lot of in-game in Nami. We don't have a lot of big threats in Nami, so we typically are running either a Big Mom package with Eustace Kid and or a Luffy variant with a brand new 8-cost Luffy. That's pretty much it. Some decks will dabble in spice with things like Mihawk and stuff, or like the Sanji with the Mihawk plays, but somewhere around there. Either way, we don't have a whole lot of early game options either. We typically are playing around with 1-cost blockers in Law and 2-cost blockers in Shirahoshi to make it through this game. We need to be able to survive into late game instead of trying to control the board here. Considering the fact that Lim just spreads out on board so easily, it's a little bit harder for us to just keep up the removal. We also don't utilize the Gravity Blade here either. We're just playing around with Red Rock, and that's just for the fact that Luffy exists, right? And all Luffy variants out there, of course, you're not hitting a lot of big bodies in that deck with Gravity Blade due to the fact that they can make their characters +7 or what have you. So I just played around with the Red Rock. This also is very valuable here into the green matchups, you know, against Lim and Jewelry Bonnie, due to the fact they run Eustace Kid and they play around with Zoro. So in this matchup here, we're going to try our best to control the board a little bit in the early game while sticking a body on board, whether that's going to be Jozu or Kikinojo. And if we can get to the late game, so be it. We might be able to take the game here with one of the big three. If not, pressuring early with Cavendishes and Kikinojo are going to be the way to go. But let's try our best here. Let's dive into some games. See you guys in a split second. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to go ahead and dive into this game today. Come at you guys with Nami playing into Lim and OP11 here at our local scene, which would be Curio Caverns out here in Virginia. So come stop by. We have multiple different locations here. This is typically one of the ones I go to on a Friday. But either way, we took first here. We won the die roll. I very much want to take away first from Lim if possible, and this is one of the easier forms to do it with Nami. We don't have a lot of cards that we play on on turn 2, outside of things like Cavendish, Jozu, and the Kikinojo, which typically we don't play out of hand. But I wanted to go 6 lead first and see if he was able to, you know, do a damage so I can draw a card and then play down the Hiyori to put Kikinojo in life, which he guarded out, which is fine. This way we're able to double with blockers, which should save us in the long run here. I don't want to give away Kikinojo here. We're just going to guard out with Law. I want to get Kikinojo on board as quickly as possible. Cavendish, on the other hand, would be pretty valuable, but having a sticky body that also allows us to heal life when he decides to remove it is going to be pretty good here. So draw here. Okay. We have 2 options. We either go 5 and drop down our blocker, which would be Katakuri, right? We can do the life flip up, attach Dawn, swing 6. But the downside to this, if we play Katakuri here, we have 1 less threat on board that we're going to be using the swing. I want to deal damage at the very least this turn. We end up getting a Jozu here as well. So later on we can probably bounce that Sabo back to hand if possible. But either way, I wanted to do damage here and get a Hiyori with Kikinojo in life. If we drop the Katakuri, like I mentioned, we have less threats on board to combat board, because typically we're not going to swing Katakuri into anything that's on his field. Therefore, we'd have less of a threat, if that makes sense. Okay, Lim comes down, he gets a search off. The other option there, of course, was playing down the Cavendish and then swing 6 with lead, which I think he can easily remove with, was it Newgate? So this way, if he's forced to do it, we get the heal of life with the Kikinojo. So he gets himself a Mihawk. So he has a way to restand units, which he typically has in Lim, and that's something you should always consider each and every turn, especially when he's trying to combat your board. Okay, so there's an L. So he gets to draw 3, trash 2. So I think by this point, if I remember, he's almost at 8 cards in hand. He could be at 8 here. I don't remember, because he does have to trash 2 here. So that's a Rosinante he threw away, which is a blocker. And then we get... Okay. I forget what that guy's name is, but his annoying guy in Wano. You guys know what I'm talking about. The guy with the face. So he's out. He's going to go 6 here to life. We're definitely going to trigger this just to get Kikunojo on board. He's going 5 lead. I'm not sure why he didn't attach the Dawn back there. Unless he's going to play down another Lim here. I don't want to take this hit either. So we're going to go ahead and trash the Cavendish to go up to 7k. Okay, so that's why. So he does have another Lim here to play. Yep, gets to do the restand thing here. Restand in the Sabo as well. So far we're looking pretty good. But he does have a full board here. We have nothing really to clear it with. We could play Zeus and pop something, but that would put us in a risky situation because we know he has the Mihawk in hand. So we're going to play the Jozu down. We're going to bounce Hiyori back to our hand and bounce Sabo back as well. This, maybe he'll drop us the 1k Sabo for the block, but we'll see. We will be going face instead of going for board, always. Yep, so we get a 2k counter at an ace. We're going to go 6 here as well. We get a damage in. I'll draw off the effect with Nami lead. We get a pudding, which is really good. I think that's it for us here. So now he gets to draw, and then he will have 8 cards in hand now, which is prime time for pudding. And pretty much everything in Lim basically has counter to it. I think there's only like a few big cards if you're running Zoro and stuff that don't have counter. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure. With a hand size like that, at this late in the game, we might be able to go for game next turn. So my game plan is to drop pudding, if possible, while guarding out of my board here, because I need to keep Kikunojo here for going 7Ks next turn. So we drop the Katakuri there to protect Kikunojo. He spends 2, drops down another Searcher Lim. I'm not sure what he'd be looking for here, unless maybe the Newgate, because Newgate allows him to pop a, what's it, 5 costs or less, I believe? Which, if that's the case, he can just remove the Kikunojo instead of attacking into it. But he does have a lot of swings here if he wants to try to clear it, because he still has the Mihawk in hand. So potentially he's got, what, 3 more hits? I think that's 5 Dawn left over there. No, sorry, 7. Math's hard. Okay, he's going to go 6 here as well. I will counter here too. Unfortunately, we have to throw away 2k counters. I want to keep the pudding. Another 6. I'll give him another Hiyori. The Zeus might come in handy later. I doubt it, but even thinking about this, like at this stage in the game, I was assuming Zeus may come up at some point, because he does run the Doflamingo blocker, so just in case. Hiyori, on the other hand, we've already got her value. We've already done the Kikunojo thing. The only other thing I could put in life here would be a Soul Pocus or Red Rock, and most of the cards that he plays are higher than 4 cost, so outside of the Lim Searchers. So there's a Mihawk. We're going to restand an L. And now he's going to swing 8. He's going for lead this time, which is interesting. But I'll guard out with Shirahoshi here. So he gets to do the restand thing. Sure. So again, 8 cards in hand, 2 life left now. We go to 10 Dawn, or 9 Dawn. Get another Katakuri. And unfortunately, we have to start this one off by using pudding, Because if we decide to attack here and he wants to guard out, then that's, you know, less beneficial to us. So we'll shuffle everything back in. Now I'm thinking here we can go for game, right? This would be probably like our best opportunity. Although again, everything in the deck that Lim typically runs has counter to it, so we do have to try to play around with that. We have 3 life, so it's potential that we can actually put him on 0 here. And hopefully he doesn't draw into like another Mihawk. Because in the next turn, if he wants to go for face, he can, and he has 5 swings if he does draw a Mihawk. Or 6 swings. We have 2 Zeuses in hand and a Katakuri, which we can also make our leader a 7. But that's a big what if. So let's go 7 lead here. Let's start off right. So we get 1 damage in. We got 5 Dawn left. We're gonna go 7 here in Kikinojo. Actually, we can go 8. Because then we can just go 8 with lead as well. Okay. So he did have a Dofi, a 2k counter, and ace as well. I didn't get to see the other card. I assume it was a 1k. Let's go 8 lead. 3 cards in hand. Takes it. Alright, boys and girls. Almost forgot to do Nami effect. We're looking good, man. We have 4 cards left. We have a Katakuri, a Shirahoshi, and 2 Zeuses in hand. 3 life left. And as the board sits, he has 5 attacks, not counting Mihawk if he has another one in hand. So I think we can just take all of these and we'll be fine. He did set up his Dawn a little weird here, like 7 on one side, 3 on the other. I'm not sure what Lim plays for 7. 5 lead. Get rid of Shirahoshi. I don't know why I decided to give away Shirahoshi instead of the Katakuri. In hindsight, we should have pitched the Kata and kept the Shiro. Just in case, you know. We'll let this go, just so we can heal a life. We don't need Kikinojo on board now. Instead, we just need to be able to keep Jozu and have a Zeus in hand in case he plays a 5-cost blocker down. Because we only need 1 attack to go through here. Spending 7, or spending 6, sorry. So there's Sakazuki. It's popping the pudding. Yep. 8 here. We do need to keep him on board. So we'll give him a 2k counter. And I think that's it. I mean, he can still swing with the Lim, but, you know. What's our draw here? Okay, we get Big Mom. It's not that it matters at this point. Because he has no blockers on board, so we're going to go 7 lead first. Huh. And that'll be the game. Not bad. Zeus, Big Mom, Shirahoshi, another Katakuri. Let's go, boys. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the end of the video, in which today we played around with Nami, playing against our opponent today, who played Lim. Shout out to him, he played very, very well for what he could do here. I do think this is a pretty tough matchup. Unfortunately, we did win the die roll, and taking first away from Lim sometimes is saving grace. Kind of similar to the buggy matchup. You gotta go first. Now, Lim has a much easier time dealing with us, opposed to decks like Zoro, for example. Zoro's a little bit easier for us to get around due to the fact that we can become a 7k by pitching 1 card from hand. And then he has to don up more characters, or make his characters higher by donning them up more to swing over us. Lim, on the other hand, has bigger bodies, able to go wide, and able to restand characters that have already swung to attack again with characters like Mihawk. So she is actually very challenging to deal with if you guys aren't ready for it. The good thing about this matchup is every Lim deck is pretty much built the exact same way, with maybe a change in ratios here and there. So you kind of already know what to expect. Unfortunately for us, we didn't see any late game at all, being any of our moms here or Eustace Kid, but we were able to tuck this game away with Kikinojo being on board, absorbing hits. She did survive 3 swings in 1 turn, so that was pretty good for us. Being able to just keep her on board and constantly pressuring my opponent with 6 to 7k swings was very, very good here in this matchup. Although, we have a bunch more games to go, so I do hope you guys stick around. Remember, hit that like button on these videos so we can get them floating around, and I will see you guys in the next matchup. Let's go.